Hey everyone, let me ask you a question. How bad do you want it? Not kind of bad. Not it would be nice bad. I mean, burn the ships, no plan B, do or die bad. The kind of bad where every fiber of your being is locked in, dialed in, obsessed with making it happen. How bad do you want it? That's the real question. Because if you don't want it bad enough, you're never going to push through the pain. You're never going to break through the resistance. And you sure as hell aren't going to outwork the person who wants it more than you. See, most people say they want success. They talk about their dreams, they write down their goals, they get excited about the vision of a better future. But when it comes time to do the work, when it's uncomfortable, when it's inconvenient, when it's not fun anymore, that's when they start making excuses. That's when they say, maybe this isn't for me. That's when they look for an easy way out. But listen to me, the easy way out is never the way to greatness. The easy way out is the way to regret. The easy way out is settling for a life that's less than what you're capable of. If you want to win, you have to be willing to do what others won't. You have to be willing to get up earlier, stay later, push harder, sacrifice more. And most importantly, you have to be willing to lean into the discomfort. Most people run from it. Most people avoid it. But the truth is, success lives in the discomfort. Growth lives in the discomfort. Strength is built in the struggle. And if you're not willing to struggle, if you're not willing to feel that really in the game, you're just pretending. And pretending won't get you results. Pretending won't change your life. Think about the people who inspire you. The ones who went from nothing to something. The ones who broke through impossible odds. Do you think they got there because it was easy? Do you think they had some magical shortcut? Remember, they got there because they refused to let discomfort stop them. They got there because their desire was bigger than their excuses. They got there because when they were tired, when they were beat down, when everything in them wanted to quit, they made a decision to push forward anyway. And that's the difference between people who make it and people who don't. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's hunger, it's drive. It's the relentless, obsessive desire to win no matter what it takes. The problem is, most people are addicted to comfort. They want the rewards without the struggle. They want the success without the sacrifice, but life doesn't work that way. You don't get what you want. You get what you're willing to suffer for. You get what you're willing to grind for when nobody's watching. You get what you're willing to push through when every part of you is screaming to stop. And that's why so many people fail. Not because they're not capable, not because they don't have potential, but because their desire isn't strong enough to overpower their need for comfort. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you are choosing to stay the same. Every time you let fear, doubt, or exhaustion control you, you are making the decision to stay stuck. And whether you realize it or not, that's a decision you are making every single day. Success isn't something that just happens. It's built, it's earned, it's forged through struggle, through sacrifice, through relentless, obsessive action. And the people who understand that, the people who embrace that, are the ones who rise to the top. So ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Do you want it enough to push through the pain? Do you want it enough to keep going when it's brutal, when it's exhausting, when it feels like nothing is working? Because if you don't, you're going to lose to the person who does. Anybody can grind when they feel good. When motivation is high, when things are clicking, when the path is clear, there's no resistance. Everything flows. It's easy to wake up early, stay late, put in the reps, do the work. But that's not where champions are made. Champions are made in the moments when everything feels like it's against them. When they're exhausted, when nothing is working, when the results aren't coming fast enough, that's when the real test happens. That's when most people quit. That's when most people start questioning if it's even worth it. That's when most people slow down, back off, and look for an easier way. And that's exactly why most people never reach the level they say they want. Grinding when it's easy doesn't make you special. That's what everybody does. The real question is, what do you do when the motivation is gone? When you don't feel like showing up? When your body is telling you to stop, your mind is filled with doubt, and every excuse in the world is right in front of you, waiting for you to take it? That's where the gap between success and failure is created. That's the moment where the ones who make it pull ahead. Not because they don't feel the same exhaustion, not because they don't have doubts, not because they don't face the same challenges, The difference is they refuse to let those things dictate their actions. They refuse to let their emotions control their effort. They refuse to accept anything less than the standard they've set for themselves. Most people live their lives reacting to how they feel. If they're motivated, they work hard. If they're tired, they take it easy. If they're frustrated, they stop. But if you want to win at the highest level, you can't operate like that. You have to decide that your grind is non-negotiable. You have to decide that your work ethic is not up for debate. You have to decide that no matter how you feel, no matter what's happening around you, you are going to show up and give everything you've got, because that's what separates the best from the rest. It's not talent. It's not intelligence. It's the ability to keep moving forward when everything in you wants to stop. Think about the times in your life when you backed off because it got hard. And you started something with energy and excitement, but the moment obstacles showed up, you started slowing down. You started second-guessing yourself. You started looking for a way out. That pattern right there, that's what's keeping you stuck. That's what's stopping you from leveling up. It's not the challenge itself, it's how you respond to the challenge. The best don't look for ways out. They look for ways through. They don't stop because it's hard. They go harder because it's hard. And that shift in mindset changes everything. Your mind is always going to try to protect you. It's always going to push you toward comfort, toward safety, toward the easy road. It's wired that way. It's not built for success. It's built for survival. And if you let it, it will talk you into slowing down, into settling, into stopping short of your potential. That's why you have to take control. That's why you have to train yourself to push through when you don't want to show up even when you're tired, to execute even when it feels impossible. Because every time you do, you're rewriting the script in your head. You're building the kind of mental toughness that makes you unstoppable. You're proving to yourself that you're not like everybody else. And that's where greatness is built. Your standards dictate your life, not your goals, not your dreams, not what you say you want your standards. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants to be in great shape, have financial freedom, build something meaningful. But very few people get there. Not because they don't have potential, not because they don't have talent, but because their standards are too low. They accept mediocrity in their effort and they wonder why they get mediocre results. They do the bare minimum and expect maximum rewards. That's not how it works. You don't get what you want, you get what you tolerate. You get what you are willing to demand from yourself every single day, even when no one is watching. Look at the most successful people in any field. They don't have the same standards as everyone else. They don't work like everyone else. They don't show up like everyone else. That's why they separate themselves. They demand more from themselves than the average person ever would. When others are comfortable with good enough, they push for great. When others stop at 80%, they find a way to give 100%. Their standards force them to show up with excellence, and that's why they win. It's not a matter of luck or talent, it's a matter of what they refuse to accept from themselves. Most people don't even realize how low their standards are because they've been living with them for so long. They've conditioned themselves to believe that their current level of effort is the best they can do. But it's not. It's just the level they become comfortable with. And comfort is the enemy of progress. If you keep accepting the same excuses from yourself, if you keep justifying why you're not giving your best, if you keep settling for good enough, then don't be surprised when your life reflects that. Your results will always match your standards. Nothing more, nothing less. The good news is you can change your standards at any time. You can decide right now that what was acceptable yesterday is no longer acceptable today. You can raise the bar. You can set a new baseline for what you expect from yourself. And when you do that, everything shifts. You start operating at a different level. You start demanding more, pushing harder, refusing to settle. And when you do that consistently, your results have no choice but to follow. It's not about making one big effort one time. It's about building a lifestyle where excellence is the only option. This is why so many people never reach their true potential. They think effort is enough. They think working hard occasionally will get them to the top. But the truth is, success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. It comes from the standard you hold yourself to every single day. If you only grind when you feel like it, If you only give your best when things are going well, you will always be inconsistent. And inconsistent effort creates inconsistent results. The people who dominate in their field, who break records, who build legendary careers, are the ones who show up at the highest level every single day. Not just when it's convenient, not just when they're motivated, every single day. You have to make a decision about who you are going to be. Are you going to be someone who operates at the level of the people around you, or are you going to be the one who sets the standard? Are you going to let excuses run your life, or are you going to demand more from yourself than anyone else ever could? Because the truth is, nobody is coming to push you. Nobody's going to raise your standards for you. That's your job. And until you decide that excellence is your new normal, nothing will change. Too many people are waiting for the right time, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting until they feel ready. And that's exactly why they stay stuck. They convince themselves that someday things will align. Someday they'll have more time, more resources, more motivation. But someday is a lie. Someday is the excuse that keeps people from ever stepping into their potential. The truth is, there is no perfect time. There is no moment where everything magically falls into place. There is only now. And the people who understand that, the people who take action before they feel ready, are the ones who actually make things happen. Most people think they need more information, more clarity, more confidence before they start. But confidence doesn't come before action, it comes from action. Clarity doesn't come from sitting around thinking about it, it comes from doing. The people who achieve massive success aren't the ones who had it all figured out from the start. They're the ones who started messy, started scared, started without knowing exactly what the next step would be, and figured it out along the way. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for someone to tell them it was time. They made the decision to create, to build, to push forward, even when it was uncomfortable. Every second you spend waiting is a second you could have spent building. Every moment you waste trying to map out the perfect plan is a moment you could have spent executing. And that's the difference between the people who succeed and the people who don't. The successful ones move. They take risks. They put themselves in the game before they feel ready. They understand that progress is never made from the sidelines. You can't think your way into success. You can't wish your way into greatness. You have to take action, and you have to take it now. The biggest killer of dreams isn't failure, it's hesitation. It's that moment of doubt that creeps in and convinces you to hold back. It's that little voice in your head that tells you, maybe later. And the more you listen to that voice, the stronger it gets. The more you hesitate, the more fear takes over. Before you know it, weeks, months, years go by, and you're in the exact same place, still waiting for the right time. The only way to silence that voice is to move. The only way to beat hesitation is with action. The faster you move, the less time you give fear to talk you out of it. Most people don't have a lack of opportunity. They have a lack of urgency. They treat their dreams like they have forever. They act like there's always going to be another chance, another shot, another tomorrow. But time doesn't wait for anyone. Opportunities don't sit around waiting for you to feel ready. Every day you hesitate, someone else is out there making moves. Someone else is stepping into the space you're afraid to step into. Someone else is putting in the work while you're still thinking about it. And if you're not careful, you're going to look up one day and realize that the window is closed. People talk about wanting more out of life, but most of them don't act like it. They say they want success, but they're still waiting for motivation. They say they want financial freedom, but they're still waiting to start. They say they want to change life, but they keep putting it off until later. Later is a dream killer. Later is the reason most people never live up to their potential. The ones who win are the ones who understand that the only time they have is now. The ones who win don't wait. They create, they move, they build. And they do it without hesitation. Success isn't something that comes from doing things every once in a while. It's built through the small, consistent actions that you take every single day. Most people understand the importance of hard work, but they're looking for shortcuts. They're looking for a way to get the rewards without the grind, and that's where they fall short. Success doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen with a burst of effort here and there. It's a result of the decisions you make daily, the habits you build, the choices you make, the way you show up every single day, no matter how you feel. People often get excited at the start of a project or a goal. They dive in with enthusiasm, with passion, with energy, but over time, that excitement fades. The honeymoon period ends, the novelty wears off. And that's when most people drop off. That's when they decide they've done enough. They take their foot off the gas and slow down. But here's the secret. Greatness is never found in bursts of effort. It's found in the daily grind. It's found in the consistency to keep going, even when the motivation is gone, when it's no longer fun, when the results are still far off. It's the ability to keep going when everyone else has quit. This is where the real difference lies, the ability to outlast. The people who win in life aren't necessarily the most talented, the smartest, or the luckiest. They're the ones who are willing to endure. They're the ones who keep showing up, putting in the work, even when they don't feel like it. They're the ones who push themselves through the uncomfortable, the inconvenient, the tough times. They do it because they understand that success isn't something that comes in waves. It's something you create by staying in the game when it gets tough, by putting in the reps when nobody is watching. It's about showing up when the excitement is gone, when the crowds have left, when the novelty has worn off. Look at anyone who's achieved massive success. The one thing they all have in common is the ability to outlast the competition. They don't quit when the going gets tough. They don't back off when they're exhausted. They don't look for a reason to stop. They look for a reason to keep going. They get knocked down and they get back up. They fail and they try again. They don't need motivation. They don't need a reason other than the fact that they have made a commitment to themselves and to their goals. That commitment becomes the driving force. That commitment is what carries them through the days when nothing is working, when the progress feels slow, when the world is telling them it's not worth it. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is simply this. The ones who make it have an unshakable commitment to keep going. They understand that the grind is part of the process. They understand that it's not about how hard you work at the beginning of the journey, it's about how hard you keep working long after the initial excitement fades. It's about finding the discipline to continue, even when you can't see the end result. It's about believing in the process when nothing is proving your belief to be true. The ones who win don't quit. They keep pushing. And when they're pushed to their limits, they push harder. And while everyone else is looking for a way to get out of the grind, they're staying in it, they're embracing it, they're thriving in it, because they know that success is built in the grind. It's built through persistence, through patience, through the refusal to quit. And the best part is, once you've developed that mentality, it doesn't matter what the challenge is. It doesn't matter what the odds are. You know that if you keep moving forward, if you keep grinding, if you keep showing up day after day, success is inevitable. Because the only thing that can stop you is you. And if you refuse to stop, you cannot fail. Urgency is everything. If you want to change your life, you have to realize that the time to act is now. Too many people sit around waiting for the perfect moment, for the perfect opportunity, for things to line up perfectly. And while they're waiting, the world keeps moving. Opportunities slip away. Time is wasted. The ones who succeed are the ones who create urgency, who understand that every moment is a chance to get closer to their goals. They don't wait for the perfect conditions. They don't wait for everything to fall into place. They make the most of right now. And they understand that the sooner they act, the sooner they move, the sooner they can start seeing results. The difference between those who make things happen and those who don't isn't talent or luck, it's urgency. The ones who achieve extraordinary things aren't waiting for permission. They're not waiting for motivation. They're not waiting for the perfect time. They create it. They know that every day they spend sitting still, every day they spend hesitating is a day they can never get back. Time doesn't stop. Opportunities don't wait, and if you're not moving forward with urgency, you're falling behind. The world doesn't care if you're ready. The world doesn't care if you've got everything figured out. The world moves on whether you're in the game or not. Think about how many opportunities have passed you by because you weren't in a hurry. How many things could have happened if you had acted sooner, if you had stepped up when you had the chance? How many dreams have slipped away because you were too slow to take action? And it's not that you weren't capable. It's not that you didn't have the potential. It's that you didn't move fast enough. You didn't move with the urgency necessary to make things happen. And the sad part is most people live their lives like this, putting things off, waiting for the right moment, hoping that one day things will magically come together. But here's the truth. There is no right moment. There's only right now. And the sooner you take action, the sooner you get in the game, the sooner you create momentum, the sooner you start seeing results. Urgency isn't just about speed, it's about mindset. It's about making the most of every moment, pushing yourself to take action even when it feels uncomfortable, even when you don't feel ready, even when you don't have all the answers. It's about recognizing that time is your most valuable asset and that if you're not moving, you're wasting it. The people who succeed at the highest level aren't always the ones who have the most resources, the most experience, or the most talent. They're the ones who have the urgency to act. They're the ones who show up every single day ready to take the next step, even if it's small. And it's that relentless urgency that pushes them toward their goals faster than anyone else. So ask yourself, how much longer are you going to wait? How much longer are you going to let fear or doubt or hesitation hold you back? How many more opportunities are you going to let slip by because you're not moving fast enough? The world isn't going to stop for you to catch up. The opportunities aren't going to wait for you to feel ready. If you want to succeed, you need to move with purpose. You need to act now. You need to make the most of every moment because there's someone else out there right now who's moving faster, who's taking action, who's refusing to wait. And if you don't act with urgency, if you don't get in the game now, you're going to find yourself left behind. The truth is, success doesn't come to those who wait or to those who are looking for shortcuts. It comes to those who grind harder, who push when it's tough, who make the most of every opportunity, and who refuse to settle for mediocrity. It's not about motivation, it's about commitment. It's about the daily, consistent actions you take, no matter how you feel, no matter how long it takes. It's about understanding that the grind isn't just something you do until you make it. It's something you embrace as part of the process. And the people who succeed at the highest level are the ones who move with urgency, who show up even when they're tired, and who have the courage to take action when everyone else is waiting for the right time. If you want to be exceptional, if you want to achieve greatness, you have to raise your standards, outlast the challenges, and make every moment count. The time is now. Your grind starts today. The question is, will you answer the call?